What does Warren Buffett, the great investor, think about diversification? Let's see.
My name is Mark Hake. I'm from Scottsdale, Arizona, and I am very interested in your policies on diversification and also how you concentrate your investments. And I've studied your annual reports going back a good number of years, and there's been years where you had a lot of stocks in your marketable, equitable securities portfolio, and there was one year where you only had 3 in 1987. So I have 2 questions. Given the number of stocks that you have in the portfolio now, what does that imply about your view of the market in terms of, is it fairly valued, that kind of idea? And second of all, it seems that whenever you take a new investment, you never take less than about 5% and never more than about 10% of the total portfolio with that new position. And I wanted to see if I'm correct about that.
Yeah, well, on the second point, that really isn't correct. We have positions which you don't even see because we only listed the ones above 600 million in the last report, and obviously those are all smaller positions. Sometimes that's because they're smaller companies and we couldn't get that much money in. Sometimes it's because the prices moved up after we bought them. And sometimes it's because we may be selling the position down even. But so there's nothing magic. We like to put a lot of money in things that we feel strongly about, and that gets back to the diversification question. We think diversification is, as practiced generally, makes very little sense for anyone that knows what they're doing. Diversification is a protection against ignorance. I mean, if you want to make sure that nothing bad happens to you relative to the market, you own everything. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that is a perfectly sound approach for somebody who does not feel they know how to analyze businesses. If you know how to analyze businesses and value businesses, it's crazy to own 50 stocks or 40 stocks or 30 stocks probably. Because there aren't that many wonderful businesses.
I actually agree with this. I know we were talking about diversification on this channel a lot, but what is diversification? Diversification is for you to feel safe, right? But there is other side of diversification. Because diversification can protect you. If you have, 100 companies and one company goes down, you don't feel it and it protects you because you have many of it. But on the other hand, if you have 100 companies and one company goes really up and it's like home run, you don't feel it as well. And that's the other side of it. It's okay to have index fund. It's okay to buy all companies in the market because you are diversified. You are not interested in analyzing companies and so on. It's okay. It's nothing wrong with it. But if you want to make exceptional returns, you always have to more concentrate.
Are understandable to a single human being in all likelihood, and to have some super wonderful business and then put money in number 30 or 35 on your list of attractiveness and forego putting more money into number 1 just strikes Charlie and me as madness. And it's conventional practice, and it may, if all you have to achieve is average, it may preserve your job, but it's a confession in our view that you don't really understand the businesses that you own. On a personal portfolio basis, I own 1 stock, but it's a business I know, and it leaves me very comfortable.
He was talking about Berkshire Hathaway. He was talking about his company that he's owning on his company.
So, do I need to own 28 stocks in order to have proper diversification? It'd be nonsense. And within Berkshire, I could pick out 3 of our businesses, and I would be very happy if they were the only businesses we owned and I had all my money in Berkshire. Now, I love it, the fact that we can find more than that and that we keep adding to it. But 3 wonderful businesses is more than you need in this life to do very well. And the average person isn't going to run into that. I mean, if you look at how the fortunes were built in this country, they weren't built out of a portfolio of 50 companies. They were built by someone who identified with with a wonderful business. Coca-Cola is a great example.
And how do most people make fortune from business? And mostly the guy has business and he's in one business 30 years and he make billions of dollars. So he's not diversified. He's making only one business, right?
Coca-Cola is a great example. A lot of fortunes have been built on that. And there aren't 50 Coca-Colas. There aren't 20. If there were, it'd be fine. We could all go out and diversify like crazy among that group and get results that would be equal to owning the really wonderful one. But you're not going to find it. And the truth is you don't need it. I mean, if you have a really wonderful business is very well protected against the vicissitudes of the economy over time and competition. I mean, we're talking about businesses that are resistant to effective competition. And 3 of those will be better than 100 average businesses. And they'll be safer, incidentally. I mean, there is less risk in owning 3 easy-to-identify wonderful businesses than there is in owning 50 well-known big businesses. And it's amazing what has been taught over the years in finance classes about that. But I can assure you that I would rather pick, if I had to bet the next 30 years on the fortunes of my family that would be dependent upon the income from a given group of businesses, I would rather pick 3 businesses from those we own than own a diversified group of 50. Charlie?
Yeah, what he's saying is that much of what is taught in modern corporate finance courses is twaddle.
You want to elaborate on that, Charlie?
You cannot believe this stuff. I mean, it's modern portfolio theory, and yeah, it's.
It has no utility. But I mean, it will tell you how to do average. But I think anybody can figure out how to do average in 5th grade. I mean, it's just not that difficult. And it's elaborate, and there's lots of little Greek letters and all kinds of things to make you feel that you're in the big leagues. But there is no value added.
I have great difficulty with it because I am something of a student of dementia, and I have.
We hang around a lot together.
And I get ordinarily classified dementia, on some theory structure of models, but the modern portfolio theory, it involves a type of dementia I just can't even classify. Something very strange is going on.
If you find 3 wonderful businesses in your life, you'll get very rich. And if you understand them, bad things aren't going to happen to those 3. I mean, that's the characteristic of it.
By the way, maybe that's the reason there's so much dementia. If you believe what Warren said, you could teach the whole course in about a week.
Yeah.
Maybe you are now a little bit confused because we were talking about diversification on this channel a lot and now you are like, what? So should I diversify or not? It really depends on you, on your strategies and on your commitment in investments. For 99% of people is really the best index funds, I would say. And what do I do if you ask me? I'm still learning every day, still learning. I love it so much, learning about investment. And that's why I am not in free stocks right now. But on the other hand, I am not diversified like crazy. I am not on the index fund because I want to get to this point like these guys. So what I do now is that I have 50% of my stock portfolio diversified, index funds and diversified, and I have 50% only in few companies because I believe them and I'm reading about them all the time, every day. You cannot read about 50 companies. That's right. I'm not 100% confident in myself because I'm still learning, but I already am 50% super aggressive and 50-50 now because that 50% diversification there is just saving me from knowledge what I don't have yet. But before I will be 100% confident in myself and in my investments, I will have this pillow over there a little bit. If you are not confident at all, buy index fund, you will be fine as well. Don't worry about this stuff. You don't need to make 20% per year. With 10%, you will be fine as well. Funny thing is that when I started, I was super aggressive because I was like Warren Buffett and I didn't even know about that strategy. And I had only 3 companies, I guess, and I made great returns. I think it was like 40% per year. We can have a look at that in the next video because it's really interesting. When I started huge investing, I put this year a bunch of more money in the market. Then I a little bit more diversified because I am not sure if I am doing it right. But I definitely want to get back in that few companies, right? Because I like the option that you can make much more. You can lose much more, but I like the option that you can make much more. It's up to you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe this channel because, like I said, I love investing. I'm learning like crazy, and hit the like button if you want, and I will see you next time. Bye.